But just continuing here in the Gorgias, not only does Gorgias agree with Callicles that what he, Callicles and Chaerephon say about Gorgias's art of speeches, his technology, that it has the ability to solve, and in a beautiful way, any problem that's posed towards whoever wields it, but Gorgias himself says that no one has even asked him anything new in many years. In other words, a dialogue. We see that Socrates is already aware of the possibility that Gorgias's art of speaking, his techne of logoi, might be all showcase and nothing in the warehouse. In other words, its power is predicated merely on the surface of its beauty, its eloquence. But when subjected to rigorous questioning and answering, that beautiful surface, the beautiful eloquence, might all fall away very quickly. And just as a sidebar, this is going to become extremely important when we get to Aristotle, because in his work, The Rhetoric, Aristotle is going to make the case that the primary task of rhetoric is to reveal or to show deixis, and that revealing or that showing takes place in the range between two extremes, one extreme of which is what we've been dealing with here, the showiness, the epideixis of people like Gorgias. And the other extreme of showing or revealing, deixis, is the rigorous demonstration that we expect, for instance, in mathematics. And the rigorous showing of something or the revealing of something is still itself a showing or revealing, but it's just not towards or emphatic upon the showy part. And so it doesn't seek to emphasize the deixis like an epideixis, a parading, but rather it's much more concerned with the clarity of the showing. And so it's an away from, an apo, as opposed to a towards, an epi. And so this would be the apodeixis of something like Euclid's geometry. And all of this, which is to say the showiness of Gorgias, his epideixis, and the rigor of Euclid, his apodeixis, is all to be related either by analogy or contrast to dialectic, which is to say dialogue, conversation, questioning and answering. But that's for the later discussion with Aristotle, and in particular, Aristotle's rhetoric. And we're also going to see a little bit of it here when we get to Plato's Phaedrus, because as it turns out, the problem with writing for Plato's Socrates all comes back around to this question of the power of the showing or the revealing, the deixis of speech, which is to say logoi, in written form as opposed to spoken form. And that's to say the way in which a text can engage in a conversation, a dialogue with its reader.